Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Rafe asked Jada if she wanted to go to his sister's wedding with him at her apartment. Jada inquired as to whether the wedding was a last-minute choice. Rafe chuckled when he said that he had known about the wedding for weeks but had not invited Jada because they had been secretly dating. In any case, now that they've taken my identification, it's actually a waste of time to keep up appearances, Rafe said. Rafe was asked by Jada if he was certain. Now that Abby is alive, there is a genuine chance that he could restore you, Jada noted. Rafe countered that with Abe's medical problems, there was no assurance that he would have returned to work at any point in the near future. Rafe stated, "Being let go has been oddly liberating." Jada asked how. Rafe said he had discovered that his occupation was not the main thing in his life. Rafe stated, "I'd choose you if I had to choose between being commissioner of Salem PD and being with you." "That is exceptionally sweet of you to say. However, you just escaped a separation," Jada contended. Rafe noticed that he had junky karma with sentiment. Yet his love for Jada felt unique. "It feels right," Rafe said. "I also feel the same way," Jada admitted. Rafe loved Jada. With a smile, Rafe asked when Talia would get back. Jada whispered, "My sister is not coming back for hours." Jada noted that they needed to leave after they had love. "Does that imply that you will attend the wedding?" Rafe inquired. Jada told Rafe she would be glad to be his date. After a second, Jada said, "EJ also, Nicole?" Rafe noticed that the couple would at the marry. "Is that okay with you?" Rafe inquired. "I don't mind at all. The inquiry is, right? That is to say, I realize how disturbed you were yesterday when you learned about Nicole's pregnancy," Jada said. Rafe clarified that he had not been upset, but rather shocked. Rafe stated, "EJ and Nicole deserve each other as far as I'm concerned." After all that Nicole had said to Jada when she was pregnant, Rafe asked her if it was okay for her to be around her. "I made the wisest decision for me. That is to say, taking everything into account, I couldn't care less," Jada said. Jada conceded that she would loathe Nicole assuming Eric was the dad of Nicole's child. Yet that was not the situation. "That child is the only person I feel sorry for," Jada continued. At the Demira house, Stefan awakened Gabby with breakfast in bed. Stefan let Gabby know that she was the most gorgeous lady he had at any point seen. "My prospective spouse, I'm more enamored with you than any other time in recent memory," Gabby said. "I thought you were staying at Rafe's overnight?" Stefan inquired. "Concerning the whole don't see the bride before the wedding thing, I thought it was silly. All in all, what could befall us that hasn't previously occurred, right?" Gabby stated. Stefan snickered, and he advised Gabby that he was unable to hold back to wed her. "Until death do us part is forever. I promise this time," Stefan said. Stefan gave Gabby a letter and a second love. Gabby asked Stefan why he had written "Happy Anniversary" 5 times as she read the note aloud. "Since we were denied of our initial 4, Stefan said. Stefan noticed that everything on the morning meal plate was a sign of approval for commemorations, including paper, cotton, organic product, and wood. "This shows so much thought." "I feel terrible I have nothing for you," Gabby said. Stefan giggled. "I think you do," said Stefan. Stefan got Gabby and loved her. "I just wanted to say that I was available." She said, "I know it's probably because you just needed support with the Demira board, and I figured you didn't have a maid of honor." Gabby said she didn't know whether Kristen was being veritable. "My main rationale is to manufacture companionship with you," Kristen stated. "My soon-to-be sister-in-law." Kristen said with a grin that the fact that she was getting shared custody of her daughter had made her feel kind. "I'm truly glad to find out about your girl, Kristen." "Congratulations," declared Gabby. Kristen thanked Gabby. With excitement, Gabby shivered. "I haven't been this cheerful since the day Ariana was conceived. I can't really accept that I will wed my perfect partner," Gabby said. "You're lucky," Kristen said. Gabby offered a sympathetic grin. I am aware that you have always regarded Brady as your soulmate. And maybe that magic will come back now that you share custody of Rachel, Gabby stated. Kristen moaned, maybe, as she choked back tears. Dimitri entered the living room of Demira. Dimitri was informed by Stefan that he was not invited to the wedding. What wedding? Dimitri inquired. Mine, stated Stefan. Dimitri snickered. I'm also. What a coincidence. Dimitri said. The decorations led Dimitri to believe that the ceremony would take place in the living room. Dimitri claimed that was also his strategy. Regardless, Stefan has held our family home for his wedding. Therefore, you will need to locate a different location, EJ stated. Dimitri contended that his lady of the hour was coming. You won't be able to frighten us with your absurd demands, EJ hollered. Stefan pulled EJ aside. EJ inquired about Stefan's calm demeanor during Dimitri's attempt to take Stefan's wedding. You recall what Kristen said. It is in our best interest, as co-CEOs of Demira, not to alienate one of our largest shareholders, whispered Stefan. EJ gulped his resentment. They should continue with a double wedding, according to Stefan. At the Salem Hotel, Leo deplored that he would lose his flatmate. My best friend will never be able to make me laugh harder than anyone else. Who cheers me up when I'm down? Asked Gwen. We will see each other constantly. Leo guaranteed Gwen. Leo made the joke that he needed a raise to pay for the room with a sigh. Leo advised, you better not forget how special, wonderful, and perfect you are. As Gwen teared up, she let Leo know that she would call him assuming that she really wanted an update. You realize I revere you. Gwen stated, I will treasure all of our memories that we have made here in the Salem Inn. Leo told Gwen he would miss her. Leo helped Gwen put on her wedding dress after their upsetting conversation. Gwen confessed, I've never connected with anyone like Dimitri does. As Leo had experienced with Craig, Gwen claimed that it was love at first sight. I was misleading Craig, Leo screamed. Gwen shrugged. Essentially, I was under the impression that I could only ever love Xander, Gwen stated, and he loved another woman. Gwen said it was the first time in her life that she had dated someone who was only interested in her. She smiled. Leo scowled. Eric stumbled into Sloan's apartment. What's going on? Sloan inquired. Nicole was my contact. She and EJ obtained the outcomes back from the hereditary testing, Eric said. Eric noticed that the test demonstrated that EJ was not the dad, which by definition makes the child mine. But you were aware of that already, did you not? Eric barked. Eric made the observation that Sloan was the only individual who could have altered his DNA swab. You're a deceiver. Eric yelled. Sloan pleaded. I was frightened that when Nicole found out that you would leave me for her. Eric said he didn't want to be around Sloan as he packed his bags. How about our infant? Sloan inquired. Eric moaned. I'll send you money. Sloan was informed by Eric that he desired to be with his first love and their child. Sloan said, but our baby. It was a mistake, Eric declared with venom. Sloan awoke suddenly in bed. I'm fine, how are you? Eric inquired. Eric was informed by Sloan that she had a baby-related nightmare. As Sloan teared up, Eric embraced her firmly, and he guaranteed her that all eventual great. With Sloan quieted, Eric went into the washroom to shower. How will we respond assuming they show that her child is Eric's? Sloan murmured as she scoured her stomach. Sloan hurriedly changed after a brief moment. With any karma, EJ will be the dad of that child, Sloan mumbled. Is that what you're thinking? As Eric left the bathroom, he inquired. Sloan said she had been conversing with the child. Sloan agreed to go with Eric to the pub so they could tell Kate and Roman about the baby. He explained that Sloan had promised to spend time with him and that she had declined. Rafe sat at a table at the Brady pub while Jada got dressed upstairs. Rafe's jaw dropped open as a stunning hot pink dress-clad Jada entered the room. I should have made it clear that you shouldn't upstage the bride. You look astounding, Rafe said. Jada got some information about a gift. Rafe kidded that he intended to give Gabby a similar present he purchased for her wedding to lie. Eric strolled into the bar. Is it safe to say that you are too? Eric stated, never mind, it's none of my business. It's fine. What's more, indeed we are. That is expecting assuming you were inquiring as to whether we were seeing one another, Rafe said. Eric nodded and smiled. Eric's baby booties caught Jada's attention. I was swinging by to see my father and let him know that Sloan and I are expecting, Eric said. Jada's smile briefly faltered. That is brilliant, Eric. That you are finally going to have the child you've always wanted, Jada said. Rafe praised Eric, and he held out his arm for Jada. Please excuse us. Rafe stated, we have a wedding to attend. At the clinic, Sloan asked a medical caretaker for the lab results for Nicole Walker. It was requested by the nurse. Sloan pretended to have forgotten her wallet. I can let you know that the date of administration was yesterday with Dr. Sorensen, Sloan said. The nurse asked for ID once more. Sloan suggested that the nurse call E.J. Demera, her husband. That will not be required. I have them here, the medical caretaker said. Sloan took the envelope and left as Nicole adjusted the corner. E.J. called her phone as Nicole approached the nurse's station. Is all that good? E.J. said, I thought you'd be back by now. Nicole made sense of that she had been stuck having some issues. Go ahead and start without me if I'm late to the wedding, Nicole said. Weddings plural, E.J. said. E.J. noticed that Stefan had agreed to a double wedding in the Demira living room. What? Gabrielle yelled. Stefan told Gabby, I know I should have asked you first. Gabby, stunned, inquired of Stefan whether he anticipated her spending her wedding day with that creep Dimitri. How about Gwen Rizchek? At the end of the day, she let me accept all negative consequences for tranquilizing Abigail. Have you flown off the handle? Gabby stated Stefan apologized. The most important thing is that we are getting married. We will be a couple in the future, okay. What Stefan said Gabby relaxed. Gabby mumbled. I guess we have no choice. Leo accompanied Gwen into the lounge room, and Gwen's grin vanished when she saw Gabby in her wedding dress. What's happening here? Gwen inquired. Clearly, we're having a twofold wedding, Gabby said. Gwen heaved. Gracious God, no. Gwen said as she looked at Leo. The last double wedding I was involved in with him was a Category 5 disaster. Maybe we should call it quits altogether. Leo said. Dimitri shook his head no at Leo from across the room. I would rather not cancel my wedding, Gwen said. Dimitri raced to his lady's side. Gwen recommended that they stand by a day and go to the town hall. I realize you're so hell-bent on getting hitched before your 40th, however, Gwen said. Dimitri noticed that the wedding was not what Gwen had expected. However, it was prepared to begin. Kristen concurred. Gwen, you are a vision. And everything is prepared to go right now, Kristen continued. Gwen was informed by Dimitri that he had given her a present with the wedding date written on it. Well, it's kind of magical, don't you think, with all this love in the air? Dimitri stated. Leo said, I'm down. Gaby yelled that she wanted to begin, frustrated. I have held up years to wed this man, and I would rather not stand by any more, Gabby said. Gwen said she would have rather not stood by any more, by the same token. Rafe strolled in with Jada. Jada and her brother were both greeted by Gabby at the wedding. You appear stunning. As usual, Jada stated. You do as well. Gabby countered. Rafe asked what was happening. Gabby announced that there would be a double wedding with gritted teeth. The more, the merrier, Gabby said with a constrained grin. EJ stated that Nicole had instructed them to begin without her when Gabby inquired about her. Jada said, What a shame. The ceremony got underway. Gabby exclaimed, Who left that part in? When the officiant inquired about any objections, Gabby felt relieved as there was silence. Hold on a minute. Leo said, I have something to say. Nicole asked a nurse for her test results at the hospital. The nurse stated, It says here that they have already been picked up. Sloan ducked into a hospital room that was empty down the hall to read Nicole's results. E.J. Demira, not a hereditary match. Sloan read resoundingly. Sloan moaned. The baby, Oh my god, it's not EJ's. Sloan whispered, it's Eric's.